Disclaimer, we'd like to note before the start of this interview that the opinions about to be expressed by the guest on tonight's Gettin Salty Experience podcast are that of the guest and do not directly or necessarily reflect the views of the host of the Gettin Salty Experience podcast.
You're listening to the Gettin Salty Experience podcast.
Hello! Hello!
That's what Louis' internet's like. No, I'm just kidding.
Welcome back to the Gettin Salty Experience podcast. This is the only one. Even though the other guy says he is, we're the only one that brings the fire. Even though many guys say it, we're the only ones that bring the Firehouse. Get your table to you. Welcome back. We got all the cast of characters in there. QC Beast, Johnson, Rob Procaccini, who I spoke to at length today, Keith Kajeski, Mike Rapcavage, Pee-wee. Who else is in there?
Big happy birthday to Big Johnny, by the way. Albanese.
Johnny Albanese. Is his birthday?
Yeah, that's what he said. He
wants
us to spend about $2,000 on a gift.
Nice. Happy birthday. Cooney Looney's in there. Oh, everybody's in there. Anybody's in there. PJ
Yins
Colbert.
made another year.
He did.
Yeah.
Yins made another year. Yeah. Absolutely, he did.
Sorry, Proc. I forgot my wig. It's in the other room. I promise. I'll get it on there. He wants me to the 70s wig.
Darren. Steve Gepson's in there. Greps. Michael Repcavage. Truckee 117. All the guys.
What?
And the Rev is back. Paul Meinberg. What?
Bill Scooter out.
Anyway, we had a good time at Indy. Did you miss us? We had a good time. We drank our faces off.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Gonzo Roof. I'm like, I think I was beat up for the last 3 days. I think I was going through like withdrawal or something. I don't know.
Gons. I don't even know who that man is. You know what he did?
No, not let me.
He had dessert.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Holy, did he have dessert?
No, not one night.
No. Oh, he went two.
He
we
had
did a double.
Ice cream with sugar.
Oh,
yes.
Man. It's like
And
crap.
then I sent him a picture. I had a giant cone about this big. I had a giant cone the next day. I sent him a picture. Like, who am I? I don't even know who I am.
And hold on.
What?
There's more.
What?
There's
more.
What?
He slept in 2 mornings.
I didn't go to the gym 2 mornings. Correct. I'm like, what is going on here?
I have no idea what the hell that was about.
Yeah.
This
It's
is
called
all
getting
new
old.
stuff.
That's what it's called. Getting old.
And then he sends me a picture. I was watching the Masters, and he sends me a picture of a bowl of ice cream.
Ice cream cone, please. Ice cream cone. Pistachio. Oh, was it good? You got to live a little. You know what I mean? You got to live a little.
What? Man, that's I'm proud.
Anyway, I've been working on a new name for Louis.
Is it? Are you? Okay.
I am. Because the guy is just he's so good with investing in money. I got to say, even when we were kids, everybody wanted a car. What kind of car you want, Ruffy? IBM stock. That's what I want. And I'm gonna buy a couple of 4 families, and I'll buy this and that. So he's earned every penny of it. But we got a new name. It is the Wolf of Warwick. Is his new name.
Those are rookie numbers.
That's right. That's what he's telling you. Gotta get those rookie numbers up.
Right. So anyway, you need any investing information or tips, reach out to Louis. He loves when you email him that and guests. He
I got
loves
a tip
it.
for you. Invest in GSE. Getting Salty Experience, that is.
That,
It was a few shekels. That's what I'm saying.
God, good for you. Good for you.
So it could redirect to me. I'm just kidding.
God is actually working overtime on Easter. Can you believe this?
Yeah, I gotta do what I gotta do. You know, you gotta bring in the shekels when you can, man.
Don't worry. His wife is Jewish. You know what? It doesn't matter, right? I mean, she killed our Savior, for crying out loud, right? Thank you for killing our Savior. I appreciate it.
Thank God he rose from the dead.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and tomorrow, actually.
I'll show you.
Sunday.
Oh, yeah, I'll show you. Coming back. All right, listen, let's get to the commercials really quick because we got Jimmy Finnell in there, who we just found out is older than us. Go figure.
Doesn't
He
look
looks good, though, that son of a gun.
He does look good, man. Attached, the hair, the bike. He's a badass.
All right, so
and multiple medal winner. We're going to talk about those grabs that he had today.
324, not 234. But anyway, who's looking at that? Here we go. All right, we're going to bring back Mr. New Jersey Fire. Here we go.
Established in 1930 and under the current ownership since 1987, the New Jersey Fire Equipment Company handles a complete line of fire department equipment and supplies. Headquartered in Greenbrook, the company operates full 3M Scott service facilities in Ridgefield Park and Toms River, staffed by 10 fully authorized Scott certified technicians with a fleet of 6 fully equipped service vans. All New Jersey Fire technicians and sales representatives are active or retired firefighters, officers or chief officers, career and volunteer. They understand the business and the importance of their work. New Jersey Fire has represented Scott since Earl Scott entered the SCBA business at the end of World War II. Among other leading manufacturers represented by New Jersey Fire are Globe and Firedex Turnout Gear, Mercedes Hose, Task Force Tips and Akron Brass, Hygenol, Firehooks, Arctic Compressors, MSA Carnes Helmets, ChemGuard Foam, Alkalite and Duo Safety Ladders, BA Face Shield Protectors, Truckman's Choice Saws, Grove's Gear Racks and Washer Dryers, Supervac Fans, RPI, Streamlight, and many others. A New Jersey incorporated and based company, sales and service are limited to the state of New Jersey. Find us now at www.njfe.com. That's www.njfe.com.
There we go. Before we get to the next one, I just reminded, Big Daddy Ray reminded me, Ray McGuire.
Yes.
We go to the Capitol Restaurant and he says, hey, try the coconut custard cream pie.
Yeah, that sank your ship the whole fucking rest of the trip.
So Cliff ordered, and Louis says, how big is it? I'll order one. I said, I'll pass. They bring it out, and I see this. It looks like heaven. It really looks like heaven. And it's the best dessert I've ever tried in my life. Right, Rolf? Like from the time it goes on.
Something like that. I mean, not really as crunchy, but
Something like that.
You get the idea.
It is the best.
Cliffy.
He almost passed out, I think.
He was doing we call him the Cliffy Bear. He was doing a little dance while he was eating it. Like, bro, it was the best dessert I ever ate in my life.
So we want to thank Ray McGuire.
Yes,
with
he
all
did.
that
That was
stuff
good.
on there, you would have never ordered it.
Nah. Right. Nope.
Man.
Yeah. So anyway,
right.
there you go. And one other thing, Mike Milner, we're doing the show on mental health next week. So call me this week coming up. We're going to have Vinny
Kenny's
Dunn
gonna
is
be
going
on.
to come on and open up about mental health. So
And Kenny's going to be on too.
and Kenny, roof's out. Roof's can we kill some? Go ahead, play the next one.
Okay, here we go.
Need a new floor for your fire station? Choose an Armor-Tough interlocking flooring system to cover your aging, stained, cracked concrete or epoxy floor. Around for nearly 20 years and proven to be the best choice in renovating your station floors, covering nearly 600 floors across the country, Armor-Tough is proudly made in America and comes with a lifetime warranty with floors that are usually installed in 1 or 2 days, depending on the size of your station, and no disruption in the process to your station's operations. Our system is guaranteed from chipping, cracking, peeling, breaking, or staining. The tiles are stain resistant and impervious to chemicals or volatiles that are used in the fire service. If you damage one tile, you can lift and replace without anyone knowing. And once it's installed, your floor would be easy to clean with just soap and water. It's not only for apparatus rooms. You can install an Armor-Tough floor in virtually any room and choose from the hundreds of colors from the Designer Series or, if you like, from the Utility Series floor coverings. Are you in need of gear racks, an extractor, or gear dryers? Install an Armor-Tough floor in your apparatus bay and take full advantage of a deep discount, saving you thousands of dollars on any of the Grove products line. Why install a breakable epoxy floor that'll need replacing in 5 to 10 years when you could have a floor that will last a lifetime? The Armor-Tough flooring system is half the price of epoxy and will last a lifetime without issue, more importantly. Join the hundreds of career and volunteer departments nationwide who have chosen an Armor-Tough interlocking tile floor. Call Vince today for a no-obligation quote at 908-917-7697.
And thank you, Christy and Paul Meyerberg, for the super chats.
Yes.
We didn't push that anymore. We should stop beating them over the head a little more with that.
Oh, that's why I kind of threw that out there before, kind of bringing that back a little bit. So
All right,
if anybody
cool.
else feels like giving a little something, throw it.
Yeah,
You
don't
know,
be
don't
T-Rex.
be the alligator arms. Hook us up.
Costs us money to drive 14 hours all the way out to India.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
man.
All right, guys, let's go.
All right.
Roof, bring him in here.
Here we go.
Firefighter, hard charging, tattooed up, badass rescue foreman.
Coming to the stage, Firefighter Jimmy Finnell.
Woo!
There we go. Welcome.
Full head of hair he's got too.
Funny guys.
Look at that head of hair on him. It's a little gray, but he still has it, man.
It's gray, yeah, but it's there.
It's better gray than away, right?
That's true.
Yeah. That's what. Oh, before we get too far, we got to get patriotic. I see you gave me the look, like.
It's like. Here we go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen, brother. Amen. All right, so Jim, let's go back in the time machine. Let's talk about the early days of the Finnell family, growing up, where you grew up. Well, we know why you became a fireman, but talk about you and your brother and mom and dad.
Well, grew up in Howard Beach, Queens, back in the day.
Forget about it.
And on the old side of Howard Beach.
Those guys? On the old Howard?
Old Howard.
Man.
Yeah, and I can remember back in the day, my dad was in 225 in the original Firehouse.
What street was that on? 225.
I couldn't even tell you where the original Firehouse is, but we had the wooden sign at our house forever. The black wooden sign with 225 on it.
No shit.
Yeah, we had it forever. That was my dad back in the day.
How did he come upon that? He was like, guys, look over there. Whoops.
When they moved the Firehouse.
Yeah.
They moved over to, what was it, Linden Boulevard?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the old house, they took it down. And he brought it home, and we had it hanging over the garage in our house forever.
That's awesome, man.
And then after he passed, I contacted a guy from 225. I didn't know Ronnie at the time, and I gave it back to the Firehouse.
Oh, that's cool, man.
So they have it back now, you know.
So left it like a circle.
Yeah, big circle.
Left it like a circle. Yeah, so dad was in 225. You had a brother, older or younger?
My brother's younger.
Uh-huh. You kicked the snot out of him?
Nah. Hit him in the head with a shovel. He got a couple stitches when we were kids.
That happens, you know.
It was an accident.
Hey, Jimmy, how much time did your father do?
He was on for a while. I got on the job. He was still working.
Oh,
and then he went on light duty. So I was bringing his check home. So over 20, maybe 25, maybe a little bit better than 25.
He spent his whole time there in 225?
He was at 225. They got promoted lieutenant, and he went out to 273 in Queens. They worked 273.
Wow.
And then
that was probably before the Asian invasion.
Oh, yeah, way before that. And then my brother got out of probie school. My brother got assigned to the house. My dad was already gone and retired. And
by chance, or he got there? He got there because somebody put him there, or he got there because?
No, my father knew a lot of guys.
Right.
He knew Sal Sansone and Joe Ebert, like these chiefs and staff chiefs and everything else. So
some hard charges.
He had a hook. He got there.
All right. So he went to the engine or the truck?
He went to the engine, but then that whole house, there was a whole shakeup. Whether you were involved or not, the whole EMS thing.
Oh, right.
Everybody got lifted.
So he was there at the time that happened?
Yeah, my brother was there when that happened.
So he got sent where?
First they said, like, wherever you want to go. And then Union's like, any place but those places. It's like, all right, here's 4 more places. And they're like,
I want to go to 111.
Any place but those places.
I want to go to 147.
Yeah, so he's like, you know what? He had some time on and everything else. He said, I'm going to 164 and I'll ride it out till I retire, and that's it.
All right.
Those
are the Patriots on Lefferts Boulevard, right? I'm not Lefferts on.
No, 164 was in Douglaston.
Oh, man. Oh, by the bird sanctuary?
The cemetery right across the street.
Yeah. We have a bird sanctuary across the street, too.
Yeah. And then my nephew's there now, actually. He's in the truck over there at 129. Yeah, my nephew's there. I'm holding my nephew right there.
That's why I figured you said nephew, so I got to show what he did look like.
Wow, that's
you? When I was a kid.
Wow.
I was 27 there.
No tattoos, no bike.
No,
Did you always know? Did you always know you wanted to get on the job from your dad, or what were you?
You know what? Like back in the day, I was like just working odd jobs. I worked for the town of Smithtown. I bought some tow trucks. I was driving tow trucks. I took the 77 test, kind of like only half into it, and then I got tired of doing all that other stuff. And I'm like, as soon as the test comes out again, I'm putting the time in. So I studied, I worked out, with a bunch of guys in town here at the local volley house. We built the whole setup for the physical, the 4-foot wall, 8-foot wall, everything.
Right.
And most all of us that took that test got on.
Do you remember the components of the test? Because I know they changed it significantly from
what
it is today.
With the maul, you had to hit the tire down.
I remember that. I did that.
4-foot wall, the 8-foot wall. Then you had to do the ledge walk.
Oh,
you had to do the run.
Wow.
It was pretty tough, but then I got like a 99 overall, but then the women fought it. Right. So really, you get held up in court like 7 years.
Wow.
I would have been on at 20. I got on at 27.
Yeah.
Right. So it took a long
I did
time to get on.
Almost the same thing as you. I didn't really take it seriously at first, and I didn't get on. Me and Louis took it together. He got on. And the next time I was like, I'm not wasting any time. I'm doing it. I trained my ass off, and I was in the first class of that list.
Yeah, I saw like Richie Euler, Tommy Mackery. They're all guys in my town.
Mm-hmm.
I took the first test with those guys. And those guys were already on all these years, and they were loving it. So I was like, I got to study. I got to do this. I got to work out and just do it.
And you did it.
And I did it.
You can do anything you want. That's the guy you should try to get on. Euler. You ever try to reach out to him, Rube?
I did try to get him. He watches the show, but we might be able to get him down the road. I think he had some health stuff.
I think Richie's got a little health things going on right now.
All right.
Well, Richie's a good guy because I would run into him down in he would go down to Hilton Head in the winters, and I would run into him down there, but he hasn't been down there the last couple of years.
So when did you start with the motorcycles? After you got on the job or before?
No, I always had motorcycles.
Right.
Always. And then when I got on, I joined the Firefighters, I want to say like right around 87. I think the club started 85. But that was like the Firefighters edition they came out with right after 9/11. They built that bike. Actually, Greg Fagan from Squad 1, he wrote a letter to Willie G., who was the head of Harley Davidson. And said, "Oh, you should do this and everything else." And then they came out with that bike. But
was Alan Arias the head of the Firefighters then?
Alan Arias, yeah, he was. But it was like kind of unorganized back then. So I kind of left for a little while and did my own thing. But then I came back and got back into it.
Right.
And it's been great, especially being retired. It's a good connection.
So you left the Fire Riders, joined the Hells Angels, and then came back.
No.
Nah. All right, so let's go. You get the call. What were you doing at the time you got the call?
I was driving tow trucks.
All right.
I had my own trucks, and I had like 4 trucks. My brother was working with me.
There you go.
I put the business up for sale and
do you remember where you were when you got the call?
Where I was?
Yeah.
Well, it was actually a letter I got.
You got a letter in the mail, right?
Yeah, I got a letter in the mail, And I remember going to see the psychologist down there first before that,
Yeah.
Strange dude, man.
Yeah, it was
strange. We were just talking about him. It was only one dude. He looked like a pasty white dude. Killian.
A Walmart suit.
Yeah.
The best he's checking you out for your make sure all your marbles are there.
Yeah,
he had no marbles.
Yeah, he was like a serial killer.
Yeah, who's checking him out?
Yeah, exactly.
His name was like Killian something or something. Yeah. I forget what his name was. Yeah, down at Lafayette, right?
Yeah.
Lafayette.
At Lafayette, yep.
20 truck, whatever that was over there.
Yeah, now I think Rescue 6 was down there for a while.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The old Rescue 6. We should do a story on the Rescue 6.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
So then I got
Spirit of Oklahoma.
Went to probie school, and a lot of guys didn't know in probie school. They're in like Fire Riders, or I just know them still,
Who was in your probie class? Anybody that we might know?
Victor DeQuino, John Holfester.
See if you can pick him out.
Donnie Moore.
Whoa.
I can't pick him
You
out.
probably
Where are
don't
you?
know any of the guys. It's hard to even see it, but you probably don't know any of the guys there. But
Try that one.
you know, it was a good class. It was 12 weeks back then. No big deal, you know. And you did the whole peace officer training at the time. And
Yeah,
Right,
Wow.
peace officer training.
that was one
right?
week.
Remember that?
Yeah. I don't even know what it is, Eddie. I still don't know what it is.
Nonsense. It was 1
take a
week of
piece off.
nonsense.
Yeah, with nothing, but no firearms training. But now everybody's got. Well, I have a permit. I carry, you know. But
Yeah. You should.
yeah, I mean, I got a place in Sullivan. I'm not far from you. You're in Warwick. I'm right. I'm Sullivan.
Yeah.
Sullivan
Oh,
County.
he's the Wolf of Warwick. So.
Yeah.
Mm.
So then I went to 324, and really, I was the first probie they got there in a long time.
So you had no hook.
No, I had no hook, you know. And
They had a busy little shop for single engine, man. They go into Corona.
you know, we went to Corona to some good jobs, and we went to Left Rack all the time. We were right down the block from Left Rack.
Yeah. That
You know,
shit.
there were good jobs in Left Rack back in the day.
Yep.
The place was, you know, really was a dump back then.
So, back then.
There was a lot of senior guys there, so you really learned a lot from the guys.
Were you the only guy that went there?
Excuse me?
Were you the only guy that
Yeah,
went?
I was the only guy that went there. You know, later on, John Esposito, who's chief of department now, John came there.
Yep.
I was still there. He was a probie when he came there.
He was your bop.
Yeah, he was my bot, but now he's chief of department.
Now he's chief of department. See?
Yeah.
So you taught him well. You done good.
Yeah, I was just, you know, I was just like always do the right thing at the firehouse. You know, even later in my career, when you came there, like a lot of guys just wanted to like do whatever. I'm like, just do one thing to make the firehouse better.
Right.
Today, you know, do something.
It's not hard.
I tell you, it was an easy firehouse to get to 108th Street.
Yeah, it's easy to from the LA.
Was it
Up on the
division?
Parkway in Kings Park, and I got off right there. No traffic lights.
Was it division there when you were there?
No, it was the borough back then.
Oh, the division was in with 154, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the borough, we had Chief Patterson was in the borough. He was like in charge of it. Great guy.
Yeah.
And he would ask me to drive him a lot on the weekends, and it was overtime. And he really was. He was just a great guy. He would be doing his paperwork in the office, and I would drive him, get his like dry cleaning and whatever else.
Everybody
Up
needs a
over
gig.
his house, and he was like, "All right, you know, you can go home."
Everybody needs a gig, right?
That's it.
Yeah, and it actually worked out because my buddy Greg Fagan was getting on the job, and I had an interview with him. So I was like, "Greg, I know the guy."
No
So
shit.
I'm driving Chief Patterson one day, and I'm like, "Oh, my buddy Greg Fagan's got an interview with you." It's like, "Oh, how is the guy?" So I said, "No, he's a good guy. I know him forever, like, you know, and everything."
He's a good guy, but they call him Fuckface Fagan.
Yeah,
Triple F.
Right? I mean, he told you weren't here. Were you here, Rufy, when he said that?
No,
Yeah,
That's what they really
cool.
call him, Fuckface Fagan. I'm like, what a
I think
great
he's
name.
actually listening right now.
Well, we want to get him on the show now.
So he got on the job too, and he went to 236, and then he went to squad 1 after.
236
So he had
is my
a
place.
tough time on the job too, huh?
Yeah.
236.
His kid's on the
yeah.
job now too. His kid Patrick's on the job, right up to Cross Bronx. What's it? 46 and 27.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that right.
Yeah.
Yep, 27.
Yeah. His kid's over there now. His kid's probably got 5-6 years on the job.
Yeah. I remember seeing him all the time, that guy from Squad 1.
Yeah.
So when you were talking to this chief, were you schmoozing him? Like you had him in the pocket? Like what was the story?
He was such an easygoing, soft-spoken guy, easygoing guy. You know, it was like I knew the guy forever. You know, he was like, "No problem." You know, I'll meet with him, and that was it. And he met with him, and next thing you knew, he was on the job.
In 236, who do you know?
236. I don't know. He might have had a hook that I don't know about either, but he got on.
You maybe could help a
Where
friend
was
out.
your first job, Jim?
What, my first job?
Yeah, where was it?
When I was in 324, you mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to say probably Left Rack. Yeah, I would say Left Rack.
It's funny because we didn't
We
go
went
there
there so many times, you
Did
know?
you?
Really?
And you know what? It's so confusing, those buildings, man. They are confusing with the different names, right? Of the buildings.
Yeah, each one had different names.
Yeah.
You know, some were on the service road, others you
Yeah.
had to go around the backside, you know.
Yeah, very confusing. Like the
Yeah,
Brazil
yeah.
building.
Big buildings, a lot of people, hot fires in those buildings. I remember the first job I was at, I had the nozzle, and the
They
guy
gave you a
behind me-
nozzle on your first job?
Yeah, and these guys are like, they're like pushing me in. And I'm like, it's hot in here. I'm like, you guys are fucking
Get
killing
in
me up
there.
here. You know, it's hot.
They're like,
some
no
glass.
shit, it's a fire, Finnell. Get in there.
Yeah.
You want to be
But they
fuckface
were
for
good.
now.
I mean, really, it was a long time ago. Those guys, they were still shining the poles and everything else, cleaning the brass
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
firehouse, you know?
Yeah.
Inspection, you know, what they call yearly inspection there, you know, a house inspection.
Annual inspection.
Annual inspection.
Annual inspection was like serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Well, when you got the borough in there, that's a little bit more pressure, I think, probably.
Yeah, but they kind of stayed upstairs. We didn't really see them too much.
Right.
They did their own thing.
Yeah.
Did they eat with you though? At least?
No, they didn't eat with us.
No?
No.
Oh man.
And the
I don't
guys
think
back
that
then, the
happens,
old
really.
guys,
Yeah.
no, I don't care if it was lunch or dinner. There was no meal that even was near $5.
Yeah. I
Didn't
know.
happen. Yeah.
That was in the 80s, too.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
guys spend like, I don't know what they say. They spend more than $5 on just a snack, you know,
Yeah.
on chips.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
For the meal.
So what? How long were you there before you got the itch to go to a truck?
I guess I was there about 2 or 3 years.
Uh-huh.
And there was a couple chiefs that I became friendly with over in the 4-6, you know, and they would always come by over there, and I got to see a lot of like the borough from that Satellite 4 was in there.
Uh-huh.
So we go around a lot. We didn't use that thing a lot, but every once in a while they set up the manifold and you just stay in there for the night. But like Vic Vitale was a good chief, Marty Hughes. So I got to be friendly with them guys. And Vic was a big car guy like I was. And one day he says to me, you want to come over and drive me a little bit? I'm like, yeah, well, I'd really like to go to the truck too, you know? He says, well, come over and drive me a little bit and, we'll make it happen. So I was like 2-3 years in 324, went over to the battalion. I wasn't assigned there. I was just, on a skin driving. And then I put my paper in for the truck, and I got assigned to the truck over there.
No thought of going to 138 at all?
No, it just the way it worked out. I
It
guess the
happened for you.
battalion was right there upstairs in 136, so it was easy transition.
Right.
That's a good
I knew
truck.
there was a lot of great guys in 138. We ran in with them all the time.
Yeah.
Used to go into jobs with those guys, and you'd be pulling down the block, and they'd have the radio blasting like we didn't start the fire, that smoke. They'd be blasting over the intercom,
I didn't even know that. Never heard that before.
Oh, they used to blast it all the time.
Look at that. He's dropping a little nugget here.
Yeah, I can't remember the captain's name, but the one captain over there, he would get so annoyed. Like we were coming into the box first, and it was their first new box.
Yeah.
I'd be like, whatever, come in, take the box. It's you guys are first, though, no big deal. But he would be so pissed.
That's not Rabando.
It was
Is that
their
Rabando?
box. No, I can't think of the guy. The guy's he's long gone,
Yeah.
now. But
You guys had to be doing 5,000 runs over there, no?
yeah, we were busy. It was a really busy house,
And you had all different types of buildings over there, man.
Yeah, if we went to Elmhurst,
Yeah.
you went over to Left Rack, or you went like Forest Hills was a good area, but you'd always get some good private dwellings over there.
Yeah. You probably
it
was
was
what,
like
second due to
Corona.
151 over there? Second due?
Yeah, 151 would be over
Right.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we go up by 154 a lot, up by Northern up there. There was always good jobs up that way.
Yep. And he knew the rug roof. We were talking
Oh,
about
I saw your brother up there all the time. All the time.
cut sleeves.
Maury.
Scared me with the cut sleeves with the big arms.
Cut sleeves. He used to cut the sleeves off his shirts all the time.
God forgive me with that squirrel on his head. You saw that thing?
Oh, 3 in the morning, it'd be like a little sideways.
You're like, straighten it up a little bit,
You
bro.
can't tell, Ken. You can't tell.
They don't know it's not real. Okay.
Yeah. Even
was
Kevin's brother, when I was in 324, his brother was always over there getting detailed. He'd take the detail and study.
Oh, my
He did it
brother
all the
Steve.
time.
Oh, Steve, 138. He was in
Yeah.
138, right?
From 138, he'd go over there, take the detail to 324, and he'd study.
Yeah.
Big study. At least
Yeah.
one of us had to, I mean, there's only room for one deputy chief in the family, Ruffs. Everybody can't be a chief.
Who were the bosses over in 136? Do you remember who they were when you got there?
I had Richie Gonzalez was over there. Wayne Smith at one point, who's passed.
Oh, right. I remember that. Yes.
Great guy. With John Piccoli, he was a really good guy.
Piccoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
No. Then we had Jimmy McNally came there later on. I drove Jimmy McNally for a while, and he didn't become a staff chief, but I think he went up to deputy.
Yeah, he's a deputy.
He just retired in the last year or two.
Yeah, he just got. I used to play volleyball with him all the time.
Oh, I told you, volleyball.
Single guy forever.
Yeah,
and I run into him out
I think he just got married.
Now he's like married, got like 100 kids.
Yeah, he did get married and had kids.
He's a late bloomer. That's all, late bloomer. Were you? So you were in the Firehouse when Wayne Smith passed?
Yeah.
So that had to put a big hit on the Firehouse.
Yeah, that was tough. First up, Bobby Dayton. Bobby Dayton passed. I came there just after Bobby Dayton passed. He was in a fire in Port Washington. He passed, but he was in the truck over at 136. But then I was there when Wayne passed, and it was tough because we did like house watch at the Firehouse. We had the journal there, everything else. Guys did house watch, 24/7 till he passed. He lived for a few months in the hospital.
What year was that? 95? What year was that?
No, it was before I got on because the guy who was turned around in the closet with him, I think his irons or his can man.
Yeah, John Ferring.
Right. He came down and he talked to the probie class when I was in there. He was he got turned around, right? He was in the closet.
93?
Yeah.
I was on the job. I remember it.
90.
Yeah, above the ice.
10-4, 94.
94?
What I'm looking at on the computer, 10-4, 94. Wayne Smith.
And what kind of what was that? That they were on the floor above, right, or something?
Yeah, on the floor above. Yeah.
What type of building was it?
It was a taxpayer.
It was Jan's, wasn't it?
Jan's ice cream was downstairs. Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah,
Jan's ice cream all the way down by Myrtle Avenue.
No, on Queens Boulevard over there, I think. Kev.
Yeah, it wasn't by Myrtle.
I think it was by Queens Boulevard.
No, I think somewhere off Queens Boulevard. I think.
All right.
And then John Ferring, actually, he went to Rescue 4 later on. I worked with John over there.
Yeah, I know John
his
well.
brother was in 154, Cement Head.
Yeah.
Right. You got to love the brothers' names, Cement Head.
How was I came on with Intense Pence.
Oh, Pence, he was intense. Yeah, he was good, though. He ran a tight ship over there.
Listen, I had a good relationship with him over the years. Obviously being in the squad and running it with him, he was always. We always had a good relationship.
Billy was a good guy, man. Billy worked for a long time, right?
Long
Billy
time.
Get out not long ago.
No, we got out about the same time, but he was there a long time in the truck. Yeah.
Yeah, he was good. Made sure everything was always organized. Ran a tight ship.
I always told him he could have been a sock guy, but
guys, even with my nephew, I say guys get comfortable,
They get complacent.
He was there. He was the guy there,
Yeah.
We always say that if you're gonna make a move, do it earlier because you get too complacent in the place, comfortable.
Right.
Especially if you become the senior man, then you're really comfortable. And,
you never want to go.
I had the seat. He had, he's been there. He was there for at least 20. It was over 25 years. He was there.
Oh, I had to be. Yeah, I had to be. Worked on lawnmowers on the side, Billy.
Guys, I love guys things that they do on the side, man. You should do a show just on the shit that guys do on the side.
What are you doing?
Or like Side Job Bob or something like that. Yeah.
Dudes on the side.
What the hell was I just gonna ask you?
Brain.
Oh, so you got a couple of medals. Were they both in 136? Or was it
one was in 136. Which was actually in left rack. And I want to say Richie Gonzalez, he was the lieutenant that day. Jeff Meister had the can. And we got in there early, and we went up. I want to say it was like on the 6th floor, I'm not really 100% positive, but I think it was on the 6th floor. And the apartment door was open and the hallway was charged. It was hot. And Richie was like, he was a great guy. He was like, come on, let's just go. So me and Jeff just followed him, and we got in the apartment. You searched around, and I found a woman in a wheelchair. And as I'm taking her out, I guess the can was just about expired. It had like no water left in it, and it just steamed up, and the can exploded. It was like a bomb going off in the apartment. It was so loud.
Is that when you exploded in your pants right after
that?
Right. I would have.
Yeah, so I got there's the can there with all the guys that were at the job.
That's crazy. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
What, the can exploded?
Look at the can there.
I know.
You never had it in your hand. It was always down the hallway.
Oh,
good for you, Gons.
Good for you, Gons.
Good for you, Gons.
I got one.
Good for you.
One for Gons. Wow, that thing.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah,
that is insane.
So
did they still have that in the Firehouse by chance?
They saved the can. Yeah, they got the can still.
Wow, that's cool.
Wow, that's great.
Who's the guy all the way to the left, the black dude on the left? I remember him from
Ray Smith. Yeah, we were just talking about it. He broke, I want to say, both his ankles.
He broke through the shaft.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I'm the one I found him in the shaft.
Yeah, you were saying.
I remember that guy. I remember him. He was always a cool dude, man.
Great guy. I still see him. I saw him not long ago.
Yeah.
Nice.
Did that lieutenant get promoted from 136?
No. He was always a lieutenant. He retired. He's got a brother on the job on 133 that retired, and his brother's on Facebook, but Richie kind of lost touch. I don't see Richie much or hear from Richie at all.
So he retired out of 136?
Yeah. He retired out of 136.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Did you wheel the woman out in the wheelchair?
No. She was out of the wheelchair. She was on the floor. So I carried her out. And listen, I was still fairly new. I didn't even know what to say, So when I got her in the hallway and then down the staircase, EMS was there. They took her down the rest of the way. And then I went back in. I said, oh, Richie, by the way, I just brought this woman out and I handed her off to EMS.
Right.
So then, afterwards, he did his whole thing, wrote it up and whatever else after that.
He gave the 1045. You're like, holy
shit.
Yeah.
Did she live?
So I didn't really think that much of it, but then I went up. That's when we went to Medal Day that year, and I got a class 2 for that, the Thomas Crimmins Medal.
We got a picture of that. I think we had a couple pictures of that, Gons, with the family.
Yeah.
I have this one, and we have this one. So
yeah, like I'm saying, the guys were like, oh, you're going to get the Bennett. You're going to get the Bennett. You're going to get the Bennett. And then, like, almost towards the end of the year, Pritchard grabs a baby out of a crib and gets the Bennett.
Yeah. So he used a topper.
Knocked me out of the box.
The topper.
What'd you get? The huge boner? Did you get the huge boner?
Yeah. But the guys were good there. They showed up. Everybody in the house came to Medal Day. It was a great day.
And what year was that?
Oh, that was back in, I would say, 98. Yeah, I made notes here, but to try to look back on all my notes, but I want to say 98.
So when they first started talking about putting the squad in 288, how'd the guys feel in 136 and 287?
There really wasn't a lot of discussion about it. It really, I don't think it didn't faze me at all. I was like, right. Whatever, no big deal.
Uh-huh.
And I think guys were like, they weren't sure how it was going to work out because like 288 was a slow house over there,
Yeah.
And they were thinking like the area you're in, are you going to be able to get around and stuff, And Rescue 4 was right down the block too, right?
Yeah,
so
you're fighting all the time.
Yeah.
Right. So it was kind of a tough spot to be in, but
they were originally going to put the squad in 316, which I think would have been a better spot for them. Single house over there, right by the Parkway. Right. That would have been a home. And they do work over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, what's so funny is that 288 is not that far from 136 and the amount of work that, right 288 was dead right down the block.
Well, Maspeth was such a good area, right?
Yeah.
It was beautiful down there.
Yeah.
I guess if you went over to like Greenpoint, you go down into Brooklyn right there, catch some work right there.
Yeah.
Well, you guys went there too.
Yeah, right? We went there too. Yeah.
But we can beat them in there. Right,
but they were good guys because I remember I went there all the time as a decon guy to hazmat. So I knew a lot of guys that were in 288 even before I went to squad.
Right.
A lot of hazmat guys.
You know who he knew? Jack Hack.
Jack Hack, yeah. Phil McArdle. Big Phil. I still see Phil every day. Not every day, but often.
What do we always say about Jack Hack, Roof?
The nicest guy. He would rub your back, and then you could say anything to him. He'd be rubbing your back at breakfast, and he'd be like, "Hey Jack, I was just with your old lady last night doing all sorts of silly things to her." He'd be going, "You did? Well, God bless you."
No matter what you said to him, right?
He said, "God bless you." He didn't care what you said.
He always with a smile. A lot of garlic. I need a lot of garlic. Garlic. He always smelled like garlic because he used to eat raw garlic all the time.
He's got to be gone 2-3 years now, right, Jack?
Yeah. Yep. Dude, he'd be waiting by the house watch for the relief to come in. He'd be out there like his hair was on fire.
Yeah, good guy.
He was a sweetheart. He really was a nice guy.
Yeah. There was a couple of good guys over there. There was a lot of them went to hazmat when we became a squad over there.
Oh, and you were talking about Tito earlier, right? I remember him with the hair all the time, too. He always had his hair. It was like perfect.
Jim, I was up at the Armory in Harlem for my daughter's track, and all of a sudden I hear somebody go, "Hey, Louie," and I turn around, and I see this coif of hair, like it's from, I can't, he still has it. He's got to be 50-something years old. He's
in his 60s, bro.
He was older than us, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, are you kidding me with this hair still? But he started late with the kid, so his kid was actually even younger than my kid. So, he waited a long time, like you were saying before, like to get married.
Had that high-pitched voice. I'm available. You're available. We're all available. I don't know.
Yeah.
My time, your time, anytime, overtime. I don't care.
My tits, your tits. I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
I think there was only a few guys from 288 that went to the squad, right?
Two. Well, Jay Weinstein had cancer, so they just kept him on the roster. Right. But other than that, no. So where's the second grab you make? Was that in?
That was in Rescue 4.
All right, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Any other fires that you can remember call to mind from 136 that were
a lot of fires? I don't want to scare you. Even. A lot of fires.
I'm already getting low, man. Get low, man.
Like any, you have any oh shit moments in 136?
Yeah, but you know what? Like, I was getting some time on, and when you're with the guys, you just go with it,
right? And
it just works out. And afterwards, you know how it is. You're just like, oh, that was an awesome job. That was great. Right. We
but
did it.
You never got jammed up where you thought?
No, not really. Whether I was lucky or just
that good,
right
Jim.
Whatever.
You were that good, Jim. That's what it is. Who
were some of the guys in 136 you remember that like really took you under the wing, or with truck work and stuff like that?
There was an older guy there, Frankie Nips. There was a lot of the Chiefs were great guys. Norb Meehan, Chief Vitale, Jimmy McNally, he was a good guy. John Triptree, Brian Malloy. With Brian Malloy, a single guy, he was there forever. I think he only just retired recently.
Yeah.
Keith Lippert, he was in the engine. He was senior man. I think he just retired this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
From all the way back then. That's a lot of running.
I'm going to say he came there as a probie, though, when I was there.
I was going to say, that's a lot of running.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're still running their ass off over there.
Are they?
Yeah, working out of containers in a parking lot, right?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Where are what quarters did they use? I mean,
no quarters. They're up the block. They put containers together, and they're containers.
Their Firehouse is in a container?
Yeah.
Shipping containers?
Like shipping containers, and then they have the, like housing over the rigs.
And both companies are in there?
Both companies are in there, yeah.
Did they demolish the Firehouse?
Yeah, they did. God's pull.
Yeah, I think they just put the foundation in last week.
Oh, my God.
Wow, that's a shame. So what you're saying, something happened with the high-rise they put next to it, right, Jim?
Yeah. I guess when they were doing the pilings for the high-rise, they cracked the foundation in the Firehouse, and the back wall was coming down.
That's no good.
They condemned the Firehouse. When I was there, they renovated that firehouse. We went up to 292 and Rescue 4. 136 was up there for a while because they were renovating.
Right.
They did the whole firehouse over, new apparatus floor, new second
I remember
floor.
when they did that floor. I remember that.
Yeah. Now, that was funny. Second floor, they do handicap accessible bathrooms, wheelchair accessible, right?
No elevator.
And they do Braille on all the signs. We're in Braille also.
Yeah.
But there was no access, no elevator to the second floor, so you're not getting up there with a wheelchair.
Yeah.
What blind guys are going to be in the firehouse, like trying to figure out where they are?
That's how they make money off the city. Oh, you need Braille things and how much is that? $10,000
to do it too, but you know
that sucks. So when do you get the inkling to go over to Rescue 4? The itch.
You know, I kind of
because you were literally around the corner from those guys.
Yeah, and we ran in with them a lot, so I knew a lot of the guys over there, and Richie Eula, Tommy Mackery, they were local to me right in Kings Park. I was in the Volley House with them, and I kind of became friendly with Terry Farrell, and they were like, "Oh, come on over," and then I had wrote up a letter back then and sent it to, it was Captain Corcoran at the time. And nothing really happened, And then after that, Captain Hickey came there. Terry was good friends with Captain Hickey. And then I was able to come right over when Captain Hickey.
How much time did you have at that moment?
I must have had like 12, maybe like 12 years.
That's
something
a good
like that.
time. That's a good
Perfect time.
Yeah, about 12 years.
Engine time, truck time, and then
Yeah. And so it was a lot getting used to, like Eula was there, it was like the Sarge, and
right.
But there was a lot of good guys there, and you really had it took a lot to learn the rig. There was so much on that thing,
Yeah.
And
how come you didn't mention Milner's name when you said that?
No, Milner, he was a funny guy, right?
Sorry. Here we go.
Murray. Yeah, I'm surprised he's not watching tonight.
He is. He's in the chat. He's in the chat.
Yeah, Mike was a good guy.
That's why I played
like
it for him.
I still run into Mike once in a while. I'll see him in an event or something. But it was a great house. We had great guys there. Who
were the officers when you got there besides Hickey?
Lieutenant Dowdell.
Wow.
Great guy.
Yeah, Timmy Kelly wasn't there yet. I think Timmy Kelly came after 9/11.
Yeah, you poached him off of us after 9/11.
Yeah. I can't think who else was there. I honestly can't think who else.
What was
how about Louis?
Harry Ford like?
Harry Ford was a great guy, and you know what? A small world, right? So I'm working there, and I'm talking with Harry one night, and Harry would stay up all night long, drink coffee, eat, whatever. And it's all about his wife, Denise. And there's a whole Howard Beach connection with Denise and relatives of mine. So there was a whole big connection, like a whole Howard, and he would always kid around about the whole Howard Beach connection with his wife and everything and my family, So I got to be pretty friendly with Harry. Harry was a great guy. And he didn't say a lot, but he knew a lot.
Right.
Z-Man was no fun.
Eddie was a character, man. We go to a food store or anything else, Eddie was a character. He was a great guy.
Yeah.
I remember him.
His son on the job, right? Isn't his son a chief or someone? Just got promoted captain.
Got promoted captain.
Yeah.
I remember watching Eddie at jobs. I was in 117 at first, and then obviously going to 288. But I mean, such a big dude, man. Like,
he'd take up the whole door frame.
He really was just a presence. Like, I remember seeing him just be like
big, bushy, hairy.
He was chirping. He
was a great guy. Great guy at the Firehouse. Great guy to know. Approachable, friendly guy.
I agree.
Regular guy.
He's a slimmed down version of himself now.
Yeah. He's living down, I think, St. Augustine now in Florida.
Yeah, he's in Florida. Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
His son lives right by me, so that's the only time I see him sometimes.
Yeah, I think his son was like, he had Cliff, Rock, and surf. I think with the kids.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Cliff is the one who's on the job.
Yeah.
I think he had 4 boys. Did he have 4 boys?
I'm not sure.
I think
I
so.
know those 3 names. That I'm not sure.
That's funny.
Funny motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of guys. How about Ray Strong? Was Ray there? He first showed
No,
up?
Ray was already gone when I
Yeah.
got there. He was gone. Monahan was gone.
Who do we have?
Who else was there? Well, Pete Brennan. He came there after.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I was there already, and
What about Mike? What's his name from 176 Truck?
Liam Flaherty was there. Eddie Curley was there.
Oh, Liam.
Yeah.
How about was Pete there? Was you were there with Pete, or that was before you?
Pete Nelson?
McLaughlin.
Oh no, that was after me.
That was after you.
I was in 136 when that
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
Pete got killed. Yeah. Tommy Williams got killed there. That was just after me.
Larry
Tommy
Archer.
Williams, he was a Kings Park guy.
How about Larry Archer? He was there, right?
Larry Archer was there. He was a lieutenant there. Larry, yeah. He liked the drill like 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, that's like Ungaro. Ungaro used to do the same thing, right? Drill at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Ungaro, I remember him. Ungaro, yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy, man.
Yeah.
The Brillo head.
Dennis Scalzo, I remember Dennis Scalzo.
Yeah, Dennis was, dude. I tell you, if you had
He get a hold of you with those mitts, bro. If he had
Dennis
like
Scalzo. I like Dennis.
He had retard.
Yeah. I did cars. Like I would like buy and sell cars, and I would see Dennis all the time at the auction buying cars too.
Really, I didn't know.
Yeah. Him and this other guy always bought some cars, fixed them up, and sold them.
Mike Travers, QC Beast, knew it was.
Oh yeah, Mike Travers.
Dude,
What is it?
the angry Travis.
The angry Travers.
He got out. I think he got out and came back. I think
He
Mike.
did. The only guy I ever heard that who got out and came back.
Right, he did get out and come back. He was
Yeah, I got
arrested
along
too
with
at
Mike.
the time.
I liked Mike. Mike was a good guy.
Yeah, I mean, he would bust your balls, but at one-on-one, he was good, man. I used to talk to me all the time.
He was good. Terry Farrell, I used to, Terry was in Dix Hill, so I used to commute with him. Either I drive from Kings Park to Dix Hill's Volley House, and we go together, and then we picked up Captain Hickey on the way in, or whatever. But we always wound up riding in together, So it was pretty good.
So when you got to 4, did you think, how long did it take you before you felt like, I'm sure you felt like the guys were watching you to make sure you were.
Yeah, it took a while. Like, I'm like kind of quiet, laid back, so it really took a while. I felt like to, but I don't know. Within the year, I felt like, I kind of fit in,
Yeah. What about learning all the rescue stuff? How
it took a lot, but thing it was nice. You would see a lot of the guys when you go to the different ropes and stuff like that, and do different training. You would meet a lot of different guys, But then some of that training stopped, of course, when 9/11 happened. You didn't finish everything,
Well, I used to do them out in the trailers. Remember, there were just trailers at the rescue school with a barbecue.
Yeah,
the rescue trailers.
Yeah, it was pretty minimal, right?
Yeah. So you had Hickey was there when you were there?
Yeah. Brian Hickey, great guy. Louis Torres, he was.
I said Louis Torres. He's retired.
Yeah, he retired. Let me tell you, like, you want to talk about feeling old? So they send out this group me. They're having like a get together over the winter at this Irish joint in like Bethpage. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go. Let's check it out, find out. I got this kid comes up there. Oh, well, sir, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Louis Torres. I'm like, Louis Torres, I want to be a father.
Where's his son work?
Rescue 4.
He's in 4?
Yeah, he's in 4.
Wow.
Yeah,
isn't Harry Ford's son in 4?
Danny Hickey's there.
Right.
There's a lot of guys.
Tarabokia.
Yeah. Then Dowdell's son's in 2. I don't know if he's still in 2. I got promoted or what, but he was in 2.
Tarabokia was a lieutenant there, right? Because he was Fireman in Rescue 1. Fireman in Rescue 1 lieutenant.
I've been trying to get him for a while. He won't do it.
No?
He used to go down. If we got runs down to the Rockaway or whatever else, Lieutenant Dowdell had a house in Breezy. So we go down to Breezy. You got to park down the end of like the boardwalk. He sent his 2 boys to watch the rig, and we'd sit down on his deck and we'd have lunch.
Nice.
Allegedly.
Was a watch, Yeah. Matter of fact, his oldest son, I can't remember his name offhand, the oldest son, but his oldest son was like number one on the list and turned the job down because he already had like a family and a good job and he was making money. He turned it down.
So let's talk about your. Did we talk about your second grab yet?
No. I would say that was in April of 2001.
Mm-hmm.
It was on 66th. I want to say 66th Street, right by the Firehouse. It was close.
Right
We
behind the
got right in
firehouse.
there with 292. And
So
that
it was-
job, like I said before, we were riding a little heavy. Lieutenant Dowdell and Captain Hickey were working.
Well, using my lines.
Yeah,
Allegedly, they were working together.
allegedly. So Lieutenant Dowdell, he was at the front door with the engine and, whoever else, and they were doing whatever else there. We went around the side. Captain Hickey's like, what do you think? You think go in the window? I'm like, yeah, I guess. Why not? So he boosted me up in the window. And the place is already like roaring. It's Collier's mansion, like flames are already coming out the top of the window. And I'm like, I'm kind of new still. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll go in the window.
Yeah, the captain asked you, what do you say?
Yeah, I say,
Nah.
no, I'm gonna go in the window. So I go in the window, and I'm like one room in, and I'm like feeling around, and you're feeling like a couch and like a little table, and all of a sudden I feel like a body. I don't know if it's a guy, a woman, whatever. And I start heading towards the window with them. And John Gain comes in the window behind me.
Father Gain.
Helps me Father Gain helps me get him towards the window. And we pass him out the window. Gain goes out, and the room just like lights up. I dive out the window. I don't even know how those guys knew to like catch me, but they like caught me coming out the window. And Dowdell walked around the side, and he's like, "Oh, what's going on? What's going on?" And like, "Oh, Finnell and Gain just got this guy out, in the room there." And Dowdell's like, "Settle down. Don't go back in. Just relax. Sit over there. Relax." And then that was, that was a class. I got a class 3 for that.
He lived too
But,
again?
there was no medal day, so there was no actually, like, they had
right.
name medals. So there was no name medal because there was no medal day that year, but it was a class 3.
I wonder why they did that. They should have had something, man. I know it was.
Yeah, they didn't really do anything that year because, right after you had Father's Day, Trade Center, a lot happened.
Oh, so you were there for Father's Day, right? But you weren't working.
Yeah, I was there. I wasn't working. I got the call at home and went in. Same thing with 9/11. I was just watching on the news in the morning. My brother lives like 2 doors down from me, so he was at my house and watched on the news, saw it happen. Him and I both hop on our motorcycles and we're flying in, and like I think it must have been every fireman was in the HOV lane flying in.
Yeah.
And he shut off to go to 129, and I went into 4. And I think he wound up getting sent. They sent them guys to like Shea Stadium. A lot of guys got
guys went to Shea Stadium.
staged over there. And I met at Rescue 4 with no, I can't think. Dave Rayner. And Dave and I, like, we commandeered some guy in a Suburban. And the guy in the Suburban drove us all the way in there.
Wow.
And we wound up being in there, and then eventually met up with the other guys and everything else late at night. But
you ever think, Jim, how even for us, Kevin and myself, Kevin was at Father's Day, but to think how you like sneak through these jobs, you know what I mean?
So many things, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah, so
Could have
many.
easily been just
It could have been anybody. Yeah,
Yeah. Guys, put up some of the pictures from that they have.
yeah, mutual or whatever else. You just happen to be off, or
Yeah.
vacation.
They called me on Sunday day to work OT on Tuesday day, and I didn't take it. And Joey Hunter, I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah, I remember Joey Hunter.
Joey took it, and obviously.
Which ones do you want, Coop?
The pictures of the raid down by 9/11. It was.
Oh, yeah.
Even back then, you really thought like, at least for me, those first couple days, you thought like you were going to really do something. You were going to accomplish something. Like I remember, I think it was Freddie LaFamina was on the radio, and they were looking for like a welder, They were like, Jimmy, are you there? And I'm like, yeah, I'll come over. I'll weld it, and, different things. But it really didn't accomplish anything.
Nah.
It was too much going on.
Yeah.
I
It was
would
like,
say, I had a picture like that too. We have pictures like that too.
it was like pissing on a forest fire. Really, it was nothing. We weren't doing nothing. When they brought in those grapplers, that's when they started making any kind of. We were doing it with 5-gallon pails.
Like Jim said,
but it was
on,
frustrating when they started bringing companies down. Like you were there, like all the sock companies, you were there for so long.
Yeah.
And then they bring like a fresh company down, a fresh officer, and we were like, stop. We're like, no, let the grapple guy go. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Don't stop the guy every 5 minutes.
Yep. What were you saying, Ruff?
No, I was saying, like Jim was saying, like I would say, I mean, we were there for 3 days straight. You would think, like early on, I remember thinking like we would find some voids here and there, like weird stuff. Yeah. And you thought that not that somebody would be under there, but it just never, pretty soon you realize that wasn't going to be the case.
I remember walking in there and I don't even know who the guys were, but we wound up grabbing like radios from a couple of guys, me and Raina. And we just kind of winged it, went off on our own. And we were kind of by where Rescue 1 was, where that overpass was.
Yeah, it was collapsed on the roof.
Yeah, we went up and over there, and Dave went down in a void. And I remember those guys from 6 coming out. I was like, holy where these fucking guys come from? Like,
Jay Jonas and Company.
Yeah, Jay Jonas and them guys. So I was like, wow,
Yep.
And I actually got a call from a lieutenant in the firehouse, not from 6, 40-something. I can't remember the house, but the lieutenant actually called up Rescue 4 and he goes, oh, I heard you and another guy outside there when we were down there. And we just followed your voices.
39 engine.
Yeah, we just followed your voices. And I was like, oh, okay,
39 engine rode the collapse down too.
Yeah. Unbelievable. And then when they bought the big crane in, they built it on site. You really thought something was going to happen.
Yeah.
And nothing.
Wow, that's early on. That's an early on picture of the rig.
This is the first one. This is
that's where the rig was parked.
And then you can follow it up with the other one where it was parked from the other angle after the collapse.
So that rig didn't get destroyed, Jim?
No. Didn't get destroyed, no.
But it's down in out in the Hall of Flame now, right? Yeah,
and you know what? You know what was horrible? That like somebody bought that at the city auction, I guess. And they turned out to be like, I don't know if you remember, like you guys are big social media guys, but they're going around the country scamming people, like.
Really?
And then these people here from like the Hall of Fame got wind of it. And they were able to get a hold of the rig and get the rig back from those people. And they restored it and put it in the museum and everything else. But yeah, there were guys going around scamming with the thing.
Shocking. What a shock.
That still goes on with these stolen valor guys, right?
Unbelievable. You see them every now and then, right? You'll see something like someone's got some big story.
They got Class A's on and everything. And they're talking about like they were there. They're not even one day in the fire department.
Yeah, they have like all these medals and stuff that not even anything to do with New York City or anything else. Yeah. They're all like, what is that? It's not nothing of ours.
They're giving speeches.
Yeah.
And people are...
I guess people don't know how they don't know.
You don't know.
You gotta have a balls to get up and do that and try to scam people like that, man. Like, holy shit.
Beat their fucking ass.
So you had to rebuild the company, right? Who became the captain right after that?
Hagelin. Paul Hagelin came there.
Okay, right.
And Dano was there. So, Dano drove his brother a lot.
Right.
Then,
they were originally going to roll the squads into the rescues because who were we talking to just recently that confirmed that? I don't remember, but I remember John Gain asking me, he says, we're going to be looking to take the squads. Would you want to come over there? I said, yeah, I'll go. Sure. But never happened. They just decided to rebuild the command, which I think was the better thing anyway, Yeah,
it was a whole strange time. Like, it was hard, like, when the new guys came, even, like, being friendly. Like, I don't know. It was just all, I don't know how to describe it. They were good guys, but I don't know.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a problem with the guys coming, too. I don't know, and I can't understand why. They were good guys, but I don't know if it's like, these guys are taking the place of your friends, and you
Right.
got a little attitude or so. I don't know what it was, but I remember getting into like a fight at one of the company meetings that we had, and I fucking blew my stack over nonsense. It was over nothing, and I felt that way. I'm like, why am I giving these guys an attitude? They're stepping up
Probably
to
the
fill the
vodka.
company.
Right.
Should have been the vodka. I
It
don't
was
know.
I
there.
felt like even the offices, like, they'd be like trying to like do their thing and be like, but that's not how we did it here. Like,
Yeah.
I just went with it, but it was just, I don't know, it wasn't a comfortable feeling at first,
Yeah.
It took a while to get used to the whole new routine.
Yep. Gons, put some pictures up because we got a lot of pictures, a lot of good ones. I want to go over some of them.
Okay. Well, you just mentioned we'll go to pull up.
That was Dan Hagelin. Dan had passed away 9/11 cancer probably 5 years ago, I guess. Dan passed. Now I was in Centerport at the Centerport Fire Department. He got buried right across the way.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that was, they reserved the chair for him at a lunch one day.
Mm.
We're just gonna go back to you get this guy too that you wanted to mention earlier.
Oh, that's Fuckface Fagan. Me. And that's his son Patrick. His son Patrick's in the Bronx right now.
That's amazing. That's so funny, man.
Yeah.
We're getting old, man. That's what that means.
I know Fagan probably over 40 years.
Wow, like me and Ruffy.
All right, I have another good one for you. Another family member for you.
My nephew James at the shops. He took 129 to the shops and he saw Ford's rig there, so we got a picture.
Did you take a shit?
Yeah. He's got like 18 years on the job now.
He's taking shit in the engine department.
I do side jobs with him now. If he's got a side job, he hires me.
Side job, Jimmy.
Side job, Jimmy.
All right, I got a little. There's got to be a story behind this.
Oh, that's Phil McArdle and his
Billy
brother,
Mac Daddy.
guys, Matt and ESU.
Yeah, that's his brother. They couldn't stand each other.
Yeah, they didn't get along, apparently.
No.
Yeah, Phil rides with us. I see Phil a lot. I saw him.
Do you?
We had our meeting Tuesday up in Blooming Grove.
Did he have like a black onesie on?
Jumpsuit. The jumpsuit.
No,
that jumpsuit can tell stories.
No, Ray Pfeiffer. Ray was in the club. Ray was a great guy. He came to everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fuck cancer.
Yeah. Fucking cancer, bro.
Yeah. As a memorial, Bobby Meadows. He was a Bronx guy.
I remember him.
Yeah. Anytime we take a ride, if we see a memorial, we always stop, try to take a picture.
I'll go.
A lot of them around the country.
Yeah. Sorry, Mrs. was Pfeiffer. You should have cooked.
Oh, yeah. This was Ray's house with the family transport van.
That guy did a lot of stuff, huh, man? Holy mackerel.
Got the van.
Yeah.
That was a trip. That was a trip down to Washington that we did with a bunch of the guys with Firefighters.
Ronzoni.
Yeah. The runs.
The runs to the Oni.
Mike Regan. Tommy
Runs
Dalzell.
To the Zoni. Nice.
Donnie Moore. Yeah, a lot of the guys.
Nice. There you go.
What was Donnie Meyer, right? Donnie Meyer?
Yeah, he was in 314.
I remember him.
Yep.
There's another ride pick.
Tracy.
Jerry Tracy. You got Cameron.
Cameron Peak. He's like the senior man over in 2 now, or close to it.
Yeah, gotta be.
Yeah,
he is. I think he's a senior man.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh no, well Jimmy's the senior man. He gave the speech at the Centennial.
Oh, okay. So he's got to be like number 2.
He's like number 2, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Number 2.
Jimmy Lopez.
Yeah, another Fire Riders ride.
You guys get around, man.
Yeah. All right.
Been to California twice. Canada twice.
From here on your motorcycle the whole way?
Your motorcycle?
Yep, motorcycle the whole way.
Oh,
Holy, that's got to be. How many hours you drive a day?
700 miles a day.
girls gotta love it.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it's a long day. By the time you stop, you just want to eat, go to bed.
And then wake up and do the same thing the next day.
Wake up and do the same thing.
Nice. All right. Before I have a little thing here. Okay. Yes. I want to make sure before. Okay. Here we go. A little bit about this story.
Okay, that was this Pause of War in Wisconsin. They train service dogs for first responders and military. And I was able to get in the program with my dog, Henry. And he's probably not quite a year there.
What's his
And
name?
it's
Henry?
about 3 years to train him. I still have him. He's 6 years old now. He's a good boy. 125 pounds now.
Wow.
Yeah.
The only problem with those dogs, they get the hind legs, right? They have problems with the hind
Hip
legs.
dysplasia.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good. I give him these pills, and he does pretty good.
We give them to Louis too, but it's not working so well.
You see, he's laying on the couch over there.
He keeps
You know,
having
he's
problems.
like, he wants to play all the time. That's the problem. When he puts the vest on, he knows he's working. But when you don't have the vest on, he just wants to play.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay.
But
Henry.
Oh, this is a guy in a club, flies the Black Hawk helicopters for the military. And he flew that on the 20th anniversary of 9/11. He had the fire department flag, the American flag, and the firefighters flag, which we made a shadow box. One of the guys made a shadow box out of it, Steve Bum, and we want to donate it to the Rock, but we're just trying to work the whole details out to donate it.
The logistics.
so it doesn't walk away.
Yeah,
All right.
we just don't know anybody. Most of us are retired.
Mike
Right.
Myers is there now. The cat.
Oh yeah, Mike Myers is.
Yeah, so I didn't know Mike when he was in 4, but actually when I was in 136, his father used to come to like multi-unit drill.
Mhm.
His father was the chief.
Right.
But I think I would know Mike. He would know me if I ran into him. So maybe I can
Probably.
arrange it.
Look at this. This Pee Wee wants to hurt my feelings. Did you see this? The legs were bowed more than Kevin's after riding 700 miles a day. Come on, Pee Wee.
Not for long.
Not for long, baby. 2 weeks. Knee replacements. Here it comes.
Oh,
All right.
No more walking bow-legged.
No more of that. The little funky little like gallop you got going on there.
Okay.
All right. So this is a good picture because we you mentioned this in the in our description as far as the NBC crew.
oh
that
yeah,
was the,
yeah. Rescue One was out on a run, so we got to run to Manhattan, and we wound up going to Rockefeller Center, and took a long time to get out of it. Everybody wanted to take pictures.
Chicks were throwing their panties at you. Hold
No,
on.
Yeah, come
all
on.
old people and little kids.
All right, Tom Jones.
You know, but you
Who
got
is
some
that,
good guys.
Mendoza?
You got Lieutenant Dowdell there. You know, you got Dan O'Hagelin, who's not there anymore.
That's Mendoza, isn't it?
You know, Paul
Yeah, I
Mendoza,
couldn't remember
yeah.
his name, Ruff. I couldn't remember.
He was a 103 guy.
Yeah, Paul. Yeah, I haven't heard from him in a
103.
while.
Where is that?
103.
What's that?
Still trying to figure out where that company is.
Yeah. Who's the guy in the front, Jim?
He lives in Setauket. I'm trying to think of his name. Oh,
You're getting like me.
I wish some other guys before were in the chat because they would know him. His hair was never out of place. He was never dirty. Great guy.
Somebody will know. There's a
I
couple of
can't
them.
think of his name.
Gonzo?
No, not Gonzo.
Mike Fitzgerald.
Could be.
That's what Milner's coming in. Milner's
be.
coming in shit hot.
Shit.
Right. Yeah. He's right. He's right.
Was a
That's what it
chauffeur.
is.
Was the chauffeur. Mike.
Yeah, was a chauffeur.
I'm going
Coming
with
in shit
Gonzo.
hot is Mikey Milner.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mike is right.
he is. And yeah, well, that's what we have for the most part. We got a couple of youngin' pictures if you want to.
Oh, let me see the younger picture.
we didn't get to.
Take the picture
I was-
of him and his brother and his. Oh man, look at that. That's the old
Yeah,
IDs.
I think I remember that guy. I remember that guy.
That guy I remember. I don't remember the other guy.
I didn't steal anything from you guys or anything, did I?
Not that I know of.
That was always the big thing, though, right? Oh, there's my two girls.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. This one I was able to pull back up. This is a little bit.
me and my brother with my parents when that wasn't at Roosevelt Island. That was Welfare Island.
Welfare. My
Where they
uncle
had
was a
the,
super
police
Roosevelt
back
Island.
then.
The super
Wow.
across the way.
Look at that. Look at a mop of hair on your old man. Now I know where you get it from, bro.
Yeah, and my brother's bald right now. My brother's like you.
Oh, that sucks.
Is your dad still around?
No, he passed.
That
Wow.
sucks. So somebody was just gonna ask a question. Oh, I'm stealing stuff.
Yeah, 'cause I was gonna say, right? It's always the whole rumor, like, oh, rescue they came in, they took the line, they did this, they did that.
Yeah.
Shut your bottle off.
It was always such like bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I wouldn't do that to anybody.
Right.
But there was times we went there and there was just a line laying on the floor, and the chief was like, "Can you guys take the line?" yeah, we're going to take the line if you want us to take it, but
Right.
Why
You
let
know.
the truth get in the way of a good story?
Yes. Why
Yeah,
make it look?
you know?
Why make it look like you dropped the line in the hallway when you can
Right.
blame it on rescue?
Yeah,
Right.
you go to a car accident and they're trying to start the hearse tool, it won't start. They got no
Yeah.
gas in it, whatever else. You start a hearse tool and start using it, like, sorry, you know.
And they stole it from you. They stole it. You stole the job.
Right,
from
we
them.
stole it.
That's what you're supposed to
Yeah.
do. Drive over
Yeah.
slower. It gets thinner as the faster you go. Skinnier it gets.
There you go. Yep.
I stop it. I was gonna share a little blip of the NBC special, but I don't want us to get copyrighted.
Well, it's a new show. No.
No, it's that was old, that show.
Yeah, that was the one that they did with what the heck was his
Yeah,
name?
they were at a firehouse for like, I don't say, it had to be like 3 weeks they rode with us.
Really?
And everything else. Yeah, yeah.
Is that the one with Game with the Brillo?
Yes.
Yeah. Game with the Brillo and
Oh, look at
Yeah.
that.
That's
guy.
why. Well, you want to talk about where is it? Here it is, really
back on the
quick.
shelf for use. Most people would probably.
Yeah,
throw
it is,
out,
Mike.
John.
No, we were talking about.
Is around here.
It's when you guys lit the fire to get him out of the room. But anyway, we'll leave it at that so nobody gets into trouble.
yeah, they follow us to the plane crash. There was a scaffolding collapse in the city we went to.
That was one of the ones.
You're like,
Yeah, it was good special.
This
That was
I was going to go
interesting.
watch it, but it's on a VCR. You know, it's on a videotape. Who's got a
VHS.
VCR?
Nobody
even watch it.
VHS.
I got one.
Who was the
Yeah.
guy from 292, Jim? He was in the sink. If you say he was a mechanic too, he was a car guy.
Oh, you'd have to go back to the picture, right?
Which
didn't
one do you
see
need me to
who it
go
was.
to?
No, he's in the sink scrubbing the pot, and he's scrubbing something, and he's talking. But
Oh, you're talking about the sauce, right? You got to have a good meal or something like that.
I remember him at the Rock. He was at the Rock. He passed away too, but he was in 292. He was a car guy. Maybe somebody in the chat would, if they say his name, I'll remember it.
Yeah, I missed the picture. Sorry, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I was trying to show too much. I don't want them to ding us, but
That was always tough. I don't know about you guys, like 288 or whatever, but like when the widows came back to the firehouse or anything else, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Especially in the beginning, it was like, what do you say?
Yeah, bring the kids.
Yeah.
It's tough.
When I was on the detail one time, I was working in the rescue, and we were in the bunk, and the engine got a run. 292 got a run, and there was a senior man. I used to see his face all the time, and he said the lights went on, and Eddie Zielman was working, and Eddie said something, and then he says, "Yeah, well, 292 while the Cougars roar and the rescue snore," or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
I got to tell you that they got stuck with a lot, though, because we were out of quarters so much.
Especially if you got to run down to the Rockaways or something, man. Because you guys got turned out on the report of a pin, right?
Yeah. So we would try to listen up on the radio.
Right.
So if you heard something coming in, maybe not so much a pin, but if you heard something come in, sounds like good job, multiple calls.
Yeah.
We'd head that way before you even got the ticket. So at least you got on the road, because you could be in Rockaway, then get job in a story after that.
Yep.
And you're not gonna. It's too far away.
It is a big geographic distance.
Yeah.
Man, that
I think like Queens is like 150 square miles or something like that.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it was nothing. Like 24 hours to put 100 miles on the rig was nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did you drive before you retired?
I did, yeah.
How'd you like driving?
I liked it.
Yeah.
At night, sometimes it was tough, but I liked it.
Yeah.
garbage cans in your way.
Oh,
Oh, stop.
BQE, when they were working on the BQE and they had those Jersey walls up,
Uh-huh.
the wheels on the rig used to scrape both sides of the wall.
Yeah.
Wheels going through there. There was no room. It was too tight.
Right. Or when you went through the tunnel. How about when you went to the Midtown Tunnel? That was
Oh,
another
my
time.
God.
You're gonna hit anything. Hit the things in
I
the
should be
middle.
like ducking, going through Jackie Robinson. I'm like, no, we're good. We're good.
Was Richie Schmidt there?
Richie came after 9/11. Richie came. Yeah,
he's in the
Richie was a
video.
good guy. Richie's got some health problems going on right now,
Yeah.
but Richie's a good guy.
Yeah,
So
we
he
just
does the flags and everything else for Tunnel of Towers and all the other events.
yeah, he helped build that whole thing down at the Rock too. That
Yeah.
Pavilion.
Kobe Pavilion.
Yeah, Richie's a good guy. Talk about guy with hands like a baseball mitt,
Oh
right?
my God, I say that all the time. Yeah.
Know what they say about guys with big hands?
Big
He was
gloves.
good friends with Terry Farrell.
Oh, was he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, really good friends. Yeah.
So he was in 154. That's where he came
He
from.
was, yeah.
My brother's in 307 now. Richie would never talk to me when I saw him on a job, ever. Wouldn't say 2 words to me.
Wow.
So we're pulling ceilings in an apartment one day, and he stops. My brother just had a heart attack, right? So he goes, how's your brother doing? I'm like, he's stable. He's doing good. He goes, good. Then go fuck yourself. I was like, yeah, right.
Yeah, I talked to Richie a couple times on the phone, like when he was at 154, and he was asking like if they were looking for guys to come over, and I think Timmy Kelly was already at the Firehouse by then, and I think I talked to Timmy, and Timmy was like, yeah, we need guys, you know, and then Richie came over.
Well, yeah, what's his name too? It came from 4. Weedman.
Rob.
No, not
Oh,
Rob.
Charlie
Charlie.
Yeah. I worked with his father a short time. His father was driving a battalion when I got to 136.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. Charlie was a big guy too.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I don't know what happened to him. He got out. He got hurt or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, they had like I want to say a job in a factory or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
I don't think he went off.
Oh, he fell off the mezzanine, right, or something?
Yeah,
Yes.
off the mezzanine or something like that.
It was like an elevator, like a door or something. It was an outward opening door or something like that.
Something like that. I've seen him here and there. He seems to be doing okay.
Is he married yet?
He's married, got a couple kids.
Whoa, he was a single guy too.
Up to his like 20th house by now or something like that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he always had houses. Him and his father.
He was flipping houses.
Yeah.
He was just a handy guy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of guys from that house go to rescues. Anderson went to 3, Charlie and Richie went to 4. So they had a couple of them out of there.
Timmy, what was Timmy's name? He went to 3 from there.
Garrity?
No, he came from us.
No. Tim, what the heck was his name? I'll think of it.
Rescue 3?
Yeah, he went to Rescue 3 from 154. His son, I think his son got killed in an ATV accident or something, if I remember right.
Really?
Not sure.
I don't remember that. I don't remember who you're speaking of.
My nephew did his detail in 154. 90-day detail.
Tim Wren?
Yeah,
Tim Wren?
Yep.
Tim Wren?
Rand, how do you say it? W-R-E-N?
Yes.
Gonzo, you're on your game, Gonzo.
Well, I'm reading the chat while you guys looking around.
Oh, Scotty Maxwell, too.
Oh, Scotty Maxwell, right. Yeah, Scotty. He was a good guy, Scott.
He was, too. Yeah.
Yep.
41, and then he went to Rescue 3 as a lieutenant, I believe.
Yeah, my cousin Tommy McAllister, that's what he did his rotation through there. 307, 154.
Right. What year was that?
He liked that house.
Not during the rugs year.
No, he's still on the job. So,
all right. Yeah.
But he's probably got over 25 on the job right now. So,
oh wow. Hey, Ruff, what was that stat that we heard about the amount of guys on the job pre-9?
Oh, who was just saying that? It's 800 guys or something.
Yeah, something ridiculous. Only 800 guys left on the job before 9/11. That's crazy.
Who was telling us that? Was that Chief Myers or was that Lieb?
One of them.
Yeah.
One of them. Not sure.
Somebody saw it FDIC?
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about the fire riders before we finish up here.
Oh, you know what? It's funny. I'll just tell you one thing. You know who I met on the job one time that wound up being big on our job was Vigiano. When it's at 324 one day, somehow he came there doing overtime. And he's like, hey, kid, you're going to give the drill today on the satellite. And I had like 2 months there. I was like, what?
Yeah,
I was like, what?
You want me to do what?
And I don't think I realized who he was at the time. But years later, then I realized like who this guy is, you know?
The Fidge.
Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of guys like that, we ran into Captain Morris down in FDIC.
Still looks good. I told him he's shrinking a little bit though. Now he's a little shrinky.
He does look good, man. He loves the show, so it's good stuff, man. Let's talk about the fire riders a little bit. So you're still active. You drive across the country. You drive to Canada. Isn't it cold on the bike when you're freaking driving to Canada?
I mean, I have heated gear, but you don't really need it that much. It's not bad, you know. It's really not terrible. And you know what? It's just a good thing being with, you miss the Firehouse.
Right.
So it's just like another one of those things. That is my nephew and myself. I mean, we all got the same tattoos there, same time.
Oh,
My nephew, my brother, and myself.
they're all in the Fire Riders.
All in Fire Riders. We all ride. And it's just like a connection still to the job. Oh, that was back after 9/11. Milwaukee Harley Davidson, House of Harley, invited us out there, and they gave myself, Bobby West, and Greg Fagan brand new motorcycles to ride for the couple days we were there.
That's cool.
Wow.
And how that came about is we
That's
went out
awesome.
there for Harley's 95th anniversary, and we met guys in the Milwaukee Firehouse, and we became friends with them. So then after 9/11, they invited us to come out. So we went out there after that, and they gave us the bikes to ride. And
So what is that thing they have out there? Sturgis? What did you ever do that?
Yeah, been to Sturgis multiple times. Laconia. We just got back from Lake George. We donated to a Marine up there. It was his 20th anniversary of his alive day.
So Jim, are you married?
I'm married now. Yeah, when I retired, I wasn't married, and that's actually one of the reasons I retired. But I'm married now, almost 15 years.
Wow, and your lady must be cool. Letting you drive around the country on a bike.
Yeah, she's good. She's good. She likes to ride on it too. So.
Oh, she does.
Yeah, she does.
Good old Pinky Tuscadero, right? From happy days.
Yeah, what? Actually, those are plaques we had made up.
Yeah, I was just trying to find a couple of specific.
Yeah, we have those polished plaques. Anybody ever wants one, we have them. A lot of guys have them on their bikes. Some guys put them on their cars, whatever.
Do you guys go off for donations? Like, what do you guys do?
We do a raffle every year, and we just finished up. We actually sold out already. And the raffle is going to be actually this Saturday. We have a tune-up party at the Plattdeutsch at 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock at the Plattdeutsch in Franklin Square.
Yep.
Everybody's invited. They call it a tune-up party. So I think a lot of people think it's like, oh, guys going to be working on their bikes. No, nobody's working on their bikes. Everybody's drinking and eating and having a good time.
Right.
And they'll do the raffle. So we sell 500 tickets every year, $100 a ticket. We give away 15 grand, and then a couple of, second and third prize or a brand new motorcycle. And every year we donate like Fire Family Transport, Gift of Life, Arthur Luck Burn Center Camp, and then like if anybody raised their hand in the club and wants to donate to somebody. We say, yeah, we'll donate. And then we pass the hat too, and we give the money. Like we just gave to Jimmy Halverson, his widow. I don't know if you remember the story. He was jogging on the track, and a couple of kids just decided they wanted to see what it was like to shoot somebody.
Yeah.
And he shot and killed him. He had like 3 years on the job.
Yeah.
So we just went to his widow's house, and that's probably could be 20 years ago.
I remember that.
And they were like shutting off electric. The house was falling apart. So all the guys from Snyder Avenue, I think it's 174. I'm not sure the
74. Yeah.
They were all doing work on the house. So we went there with some of our raffle money, and we made a donation towards the materials and everything else. Home Depot gave a donation. And the woman was literally in tears when we showed up to give her the money, to put to their house. Those guys said, they actually paid her electric bill that day so they wouldn't shut her electric off.
Wow, the brothers.
Yeah. Oh, that was a ride I was leaving to go on. And you guys probably know how many times did 9/11 or 343 show up?
Oh, my God, dude. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, look at the alarm
shows up on my motorcycle. And
every day. Every day.
Yeah.
Every day, right?
Yep.
Trying to add, I found this one too. This is a pretty cool pic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, next to that.
They still fly that plane, man. I still see it around.
Yeah.
Was that JetBlue, right?
Yeah, JetBlue has all kinds of jet plane.
We went around with a lot of the steel that was stored over there at the airport. We took it down to Quantico. We escorted it all the way. We probably had like 60 guys at a club riding down, police escort the whole way to Quantico, Virginia, to donate steel for the memorial down there.
That's a short ride compared to California.
But it's just a good way. I'm sure you guys do this. It's kind of keep in touch with the job.
Yeah, it keeps you in the
guys.
game.
It's kind of like the same thing. Otherwise, you lose touch.
Yeah.
I still try to do over in Farmingdale. They have the retirees. They have the breakfast over there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Counseling unit. Or
Yeah, we're gonna do a show. I was talking to Ronzoni.
yeah,
And,
Ronzoni's there,
we're
and
gonna do it. We're gonna do a show from there.
you just
So-
had what's his name on the Jimmy Amon. He's
Yes.
always over there too, Jimmy.
Yep.
And the guy that lost his son.
He lost his son. His house burnt down.
Yeah.
And we try to help him. He's like, "No, I'm good. I don't
He
need
told-
anything. I'm okay."
I actually tried when we had him on the show. I had been talking to him obviously a couple of weeks before.
Yeah.
I said, "Listen, let me know because let's put it out there. You got to GoFundMe. Let's do." He don't want to do nothing.
No, he didn't want to do anything.
He didn't want to do nothing.
No. You know, even down in Florida, I go to Florida for 2 months in the winter,
Nice.
and see so many retirees down there, and they have like a get together. They do this, like they call it giraffe party underneath the bridge, where all the guys get together, and there's guys from like their 40s up to their 90s that are at the thing, you know, and it's just it's a good time, you know.
Yeah.
What part of Florida is it?
It's down in Palm Coast.
That near
And,
you?
It's West Coast.
Probably get 50, 60 guys show up, and it's a good time, you know.
Keep
And I see a lot of the guys when I'm down there in Florida.
I'm gonna ask you the same question I ask every retired guy.
Oh, here it comes.
Do you have the dream?
Yeah.
You know what dream that is?
Mm-hmm.
The dream that you get a run and you can't find your bunker gear.
Yeah.
Have you had that dream, Jim?
I've had that dream. Yeah.
Hey,
Mhm.
every friggin' guy I get on the show says the same thing. Roof, we got it. Could you look into this, please, for
Conspiracy. They know it. They get it. You
I
know.
think it's like Sigmund Freud. Like it has something to do. Like they used to say, like
Right.
your teeth fall out or something. There's something going on. Like
Yeah?
yeah.
I don't know, but
And there's nobody that retired that doesn't miss the job, right? Everybody misses it.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
so.
Well, you got to look at you doing something for 25, 30 years, 35 years. You got a routine. I mean, I don't know. It's just
You
got
know, I felt like I left a
Permanent
little
memory.
early. You know, for me at the time, I got
Uh-huh.
hurt right up by 154 was at the job. My leg went through the floor. I blew out my knee.
Oh, man.
And at the time, I was a single dad. My kids were like 6 and 7. And I had them on my own. Yeah, babysitters, everything, trying to juggle everything. And, you know, I went to special surgery, and the doctor was like, you know, you could fight to go back, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it. And I'm like, you know, it's either go back and wait another 5-6 years to maybe get what I'm going to get if I retire now,
Right.
take care of my kids. So, you know, it just worked out. I just,
Your time.
When your
Went
time
to
is your
bed
time.
like
What year
this.
did you get out, Jim?
I got out in 2005. You know, my kids were still young then. And now, of course, they're in their 30s, you know, they got houses and married and whatever else.
Any
But
grandkids yet, Jim?
no.
Yeah. All
I
right.
keep saying they're working on it, but
Practice, all right.
keep a lot of
Yeah.
practice going. A lot of
Practice
practice.
is fun.
it's a funny thing. Like, I got the place in Sullivan County, like, I don't know, eons ago.
Mm-hmm.
And when the kids were little, nobody wanted to go. We got no Wi-Fi. We got no this. We hated
Now they
it,
want to go there.
right? Now, like, my daughter lives a block away from me up there, and last year they just bought the local Firehouse went up for sale. They bought the local Firehouse too,
Where
I
is
always
it?
wanted to
Callicoon?
do
Where
that.
is it?
Lake Huntington.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, right by, not far from Callicoon, right
Yeah.
there. So they own the local Firehouse plus a house a block away from us, and all the kids are constantly at my house up there. So as much
Of
as they
course.
hate it, they all love it up there now. We got 100 acres up there. We get tractors, everything. We go off hunting and whatever else.
Hunting?
Oh,
Did you say hunting?
You say hunting?
Hunting? What did you say?
Yeah, a lot of
Maybe,
deer, a lot of deer. Some bear, a lot of deer.
Man.
Any faking ghosts?
What was the website for that? In case guys want to donate to the Firefighter.
Firefighters.
Well, really, we don't take donations. We just
Ah.
do the raffle, but it's NewYorkCityFireWriters.com.
Okay.
You know.
Did I save that?
But if anybody wants to come to the party on Saturday at Plattdeutsch, 1 o'clock, it's a great time.
I recommend the Bavarian pretzel,
Yeah.
and
It'll
also
be like
recommend
80 degrees out.
yeah.
It'll be nice.
I also recommend using the ATM there several times.
Is that your ATM?
I have 3 of them in there.
Dude, I'm going there for the 290-103 reunion. I'm gonna
Yeah, well, take
take
some
a
money.
dump right on that thing.
They
Take
do a
a
lot of
dump on it.
events there, right?
What's that?
They do a lot of events there.
Oh yeah, they do a lot of events out that new castle he built out there.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see that machine. I can't wait.
Don't touch it. I have cameras on it. They're roofie proof.
Don't
I'm gonna be
do
going
it.
like this. Hey.
How dare you, son of a bitch!
You son of a bitch.
You
dick! You dick!
Roofie. Oh, wait, I got that one too. Yeah.
What?
Anything else you want to throw out there before we do? You know what? Anyone else want to give a shout out to? Or...
He's mentally exhausted. He hasn't done this much talking in 20 years.
No, who's he talking to while he's riding his bike for 14 hours? He's talking to himself.
That's it. No, listen, when I was president of Firefighters, I had the headset on. Guys are calling me. I'm riding on my motorcycle. Guys are calling me, texting me, everything. Good thing I had the headset. I'm like, I'm riding my bike. I can't really talk. No,
it's like this, Jim. I'm riding my bike. I had a Harley.
Let me tell you, when we went to Lake George, talk about cold going up there, boy. It was freezing.
You have the windshield? No, you don't have a windshield.
Oh, I have a windshield, but it's so cold.
Yeah.
So when does the fun begin?
Helps a little bit. It's like Dumb and Dumber when you get there. They're frozen.
Yeah. All right, so it might be that time, Gans.
What time is that? It is time for the old school tip of the day. Take it away, my friend.
I would say my old school tip of the day would be really just check the rig. Know the tools on the rig. Make sure everything works. Make sure the masks have, your pack has air. Make sure the batteries are charged. The other tools have gasoline. And just know where everything is. Because half the time, companies pull up. Not half the time, but companies pull up and they're not ready to go. You got to be ready to go.
It's definitely the tool that you don't use all the time.
That's the one that you're going to need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying about guys crying. Oh, they took the line. Or, no, you ran out of air.
Yeah.
Nobody took your back. You ran out of air and the line's sitting on the floor.
Right.
Or
sorry. Maybe you didn't want to go in there. Possibly.
Right. You can't get your Hearst tool started. Sorry. I'm sorry,
Ole.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's the easy stuff.
Thanks for sharing your career with us, bro. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, thanks for having me on. Hopefully it was a decent show.
Oh, it was great, man. Yeah. Next time you going up to Lake George on a bike, don't give me a call because I really have no interest in going. But anyway, guys like you, man. Hard charges, great career.
We love it, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gons, anybody got a shout out?
We have our last commercial.
That's right. So, do it.
So here we go.
The First Responders Center for Excellence is a not-for-profit organization dedicated to protecting the lives and livelihoods of first responders. Their education and research initiatives aim to bring greater awareness and understanding to the challenges to the health, safety, and well-being of firefighters, EMS personnel, and other first responders too. They are an affiliate of the National Fallen Firefighter Foundation.
Old school health and safety tip is watch next week's show. Ruffy won't be there, but we're doing a show on mental health. We're going to emphasize mental health, not only for you, but what you bring home to your wife and kids. And we're going to have Vinny Dunn as a guest, Mike Milner as a guest, and Nancy Carbone, and maybe one other person. And
Kenny Delaney is filling in for me.
Oh, Kenny Delaney's filling in for Lou Rafrano. Who'll be
I'm embarrassed to say I still go to counseling unit once a month.
Yeah, man.
Don't be, man.
You got to get a checkup from the neck up. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can't let that. Otherwise, you turn out like Gonzo. You don't want that.
Well, I go, but it's not helping. No, I'm just kidding.
And we just got you see, I just got Danny Sheridan.
When is that? What show did you put it? What?
I don't know. He's on the list somewhere.
I got Miro too from 120. He's on.
I don't know if you saw. You have that one for May 15th. Oh, God! So speaking of which, May 15th.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for you to clear. Here it is.
There it is. All right. So this is the show 16th. That me and Louie will be here on
May 16th and 17th.
16th and 17th at the Lancaster County Firemen's Association 53rd Annual Fire Expo. Fire Expo will showcase more than 250 emergency service exhibits featuring the world's leading manufacturers of fire, emergency medical services, rescue, and public safety equipment. Fire Expo not only has displays, exhibits, and live demonstrations, but also has really handsome guys selling T-shirts. Also provides training from Cumberland Valley Volunteer Firefighters Association, Penn State, Hershey Life, Line, Critical Care, Transport, etc., etc., etc. Dates May 16th, 2025, 9 to 5.
Harrisburg,
May 17th, 2025, 9 to 4. Come out and see me and Ruffy. Have a drink. Maybe we'll go out to dinner with you, or maybe you can take us out to dinner. Either way, come on out and see us.
What do we get, Coobs? The cold smoked Delmonico?
We get the cold smoked Delmonico steak. Wonderbar. We'll be out there with the guys.
This is the worst looking hat I ever saw. You buy a hat like this, I bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh?
Matter of fact, they were just
it looks good on you, though.
Sorry, you gotta let it finish. Sorry, Coobs, go ahead.
That's where we'll be. And that's all I got.
Yeah, that's it.
Jimmy, nice job, kid.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Doing well.
Ride to the end, bro. Keep on riding. Keeps you young.
Yep.
Sure.
Stay healthy, guys.
And
Yeah, man.
Lose some of that hair. Well, you really coming. He's 10 years older than me. He's got more hair than me.
Yeah.
But anywho, that's all I got. We will see you next Thursday. Well, Louis won't, but we will see you. Until then, stay low and go.
All right, everybody. We'll see you at the big one. Thanks again, Jim.
All right. Thank you. Good night, guys.
All right, guys. I was going to give a little shout out earlier. Sorry, I had a moment there for the victims for the FSU shooting today. So I obviously, that's impacted me a little bit different, than some other people. But I just want to give a shout out, condolences to the families up there. And with that, just be better today than you were yesterday. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Get on it.